Okay, so what we have here is a pretty interesting laptop, to say the least. It's a CQ60, and it does power on, but what we do notice are two things. So what we're going to do is take this, and we're going to plug it into the side, and you'll see the network light is going to flash. So the network light flashes. If you didn't catch that, network light flashes, but the power light does not turn on. But we do get a system that turns on, and when we do check it, because we do get video, we're going to go into the BIOS. We see that everything appears normal. We see everything seems to be set correctly, but what we're going to do is let it boot up into Windows. And the major complaint from our customer is that they have changed out the trackpad on this system, and the trackpad and the buttons here do not work. It appears also that the light for the battery is not working. It doesn't appear to be charging the battery or discharging. It should show an orange light where it's running off a battery. It doesn't seem to be doing that. Still no light in the DC jack. That could just be a common auto sensing issue, but we're touching the trackpad here and we get nothing. So we had nothing as far as functionality goes with trackpad, but we do have keyboard functionality. So we do know that our keyboard works, because we could get it to do certain things as far as restarting, shutting down. Probably could get it to log in and everything, but the trackpad does not work. This is a new trackpad off of a new system. Buttons do not work, and we have some telltale other signs. That light doesn't start up, and we get the network light is blinking when we plug it in. So we're going to have to check it and see what's going on, and that's what we're going to do next. We got to take it apart though. Okay, so under the magnifier here, we can finally see what our issue is with the trackpad. What we have are the ribbon cables here. They're all attached except for this one at the end. It seems to be broken, and the tape is kind of peeled up here. So we know that this cable probably got twisted like so and tore. See how it's doing? So we know that this this cable right here is completely separated. There's a complete separation here. So between that and that, there's a issue. So what we're gonna have to do is replace that out. We'll probably actually solder it. We'll solder it through. And as far as the DC jack, what we can see here is that it's been taped in. And the jack has actually been rebuilt with duct tape. So what we're going to do is take this board out and take a look at that jack and see what can be done. And if it is an issue, we have a replacement jack over here to put it together and see what can be done. So we have trackpad here, jack issue over here, and we're going to take care of it, take a look at it here in a second after we finish taking it apart. Okay, so we have our board out, and we have our old jack here, and we're going to take the same power adapter and plug it into the new jack that we've hooked up. That's actual replacement that we said earlier that we had, and we're going to see what happens. So it's going to take me a second, one-handed here, but plugged it in. We got a light. So what we're going to do is take this new jack off, and we're going to put the old one back on and see if it lights up outside the case. So what we've done is plugged it in, everything like it was before, and we're going to just plug the adapter in and see what happens. Which we get no lights and nothing like that. So let's actually unplug it and plug it back in and see if it does anything with the network adapter, which it does. We still see it doing something to the network adapter. So we're going to unplug this jack and plug the new one that we know was good back in and see what it does to the network adapter. See if it actually lights it up like that. So we have our adapter like so, and we're going to see about plugging our jack in. Okay, so now we have it set. Let's see if it does anything. Which it seems to have, but it also lit the adapter. So, don't know if this is one of those auto sensing deals where when you plug it in it does that, or whatnot, but we're going to have to see if it charges the battery and stuff such as that, which we can actually do that outside. That was another issue that we had with the system. So what we're going to have to do is take the little panel off of here, and we'll have to hook it up and see if that does it. If it shows that it charges the battery and does what it's supposed to do. So we're going to take these screws out real quick and hook it up and see what it does as far as the panel here. So we'll flip this over and plug it in like so, and then we're going to go to a battery and see what it does. Kind of get down in here and plug this in. Kind of gets in the way. Do this one-handed, it's not easy, so I'm going to have to stop this video and pick it up here in a second. Okay, so we have our battery plugged in, we have our adapter plugged in with the light, and we're actually getting nothing out of the panel here. So, don't know if that means that there's still some sort of something going on with the motherboard, or if it's just a fluke. It may just be something that's not may not be an issue. So what we're going to do is say that the jack right here needed to be pulled out though. So this jack is going to be tossed aside, and then we're going to work on this trackpad here in a minute, and we'll do that. So we're going to have to prep the trackpad to work on, and then go from there and see what needs to be done to put this back together and see if we can't get it fully operational and figure out what's going on. Okay, so we have our DC jack plugged in, lights on. Now what we're going to do is test to see if these buttons of this trackpad works. So what we're going to do is turn it on, We have the screen hooked up, hard drives in it, everything's turned on. Memory should still be in there, so we don't have a problem with that. Of course, date and time is incorrect because of the battery being unplugged. So what we're going to do is let it start up. Get this light off so it doesn't leave the glare. And then we're going to check our trackpad. If our trackpad works, then what we're going to say is that this system is pretty much complete. Now what we do have is a light here where the trackpad is, which is something we didn't have before. So we're going to start it up, and we have nothing. So we're back to square one. Obviously, we're going to have to try something else as far as the testing goes on this. So we'll probably have to pull a trackpad component off of a spare that we have and see if that's going to fix it. So that'll be our next thing to do, is try that trackpad off of a different system. So we have no trackpad activity, nothing with it as far as it working. It doesn't matter if it's orange light or light, doesn't matter. We don't have anything. So that's what we're going to have to do, is move on to the next step, which is try a different trackpad, see what happens. Okay, so for testing, we took our replacement trackpad. So our old trackpad's over here, the one with our repair on it. So we have another trackpad that fits it exactly, and we're going to see if this trackpad does any different than the one that we had. So we're going to let the system boot up, and we're going to see if the trackpad works. As always, we have the battery issue because we haven't hooked it back up. So now we're going to let it start and do its boot up. And we're going to hopefully see a trackpad that works. We do have a light on it, the same as the other one. So we'll let this boot up. We just saw a cursor for a second there. So we have initialization there, and we actually have a trackpad that works. So we see that it was indeed the we'll pull this down. We'll see indeed that it was the trackpad off the other system. It was damaged. So what we're going to do is either A, leave this trackpad the way it is, or B, we're going to take this trackpad section out and replace it with the trackpad section on here. You run the risk of damaging it, but we'll see what happens. So we're going to shut this down and say that it's complete as far as that goes, and the DC jack looks fine. So we're going to call the customer and see what they want to do as far as putting the trackpad in or not. So our system's done. It's complete. We found the error and we fixed it.